interesting news. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move backwards a bit. Do you want to move the furniture around with me? Because we might be a little less windy a little bit further back, which has now completely ruined Morph, who was totally in focus in front of us here and is now going to stop fiddling. Morphlet, I'm sorry about that. You might need to be on. Hello.
I've never done this before.
Now, the last time I sat next to Ryan Champion, both of us with microphones in our hands, was at Wales Rally GB last year, wasn't it?
Yes, commentating on some affectionately named cars.
Affectionately, we won't do that here.
By a friend of ours, but yeah, we were commentating on the spectator stage on Wales Rally GB. Which
we were, weren't we? Did we have fun?
We did, but it wasn't quite as warm as this, I don't know.
No, it wasn't, was it? They have this sort of thing called either Slowly Sideways or whatever, which is a collection of people who've got nice historic rally cars. Now, Ryan's been around a long time. His mum and dad have been involved in rallying for donkeys. I've been around for longer, actually probably than mum. Well, no, mum and dad and I, of course, go back to the Maestro Challenge in the 80s, don't we? And so you see these cars, and Ryan's always been a rally car child, and I've always had an interest. So we're quite good at these things, aren't we? We know all about Datsuns and 6R4s and things like that. And then we get to the 13th Mark II Escort. Oh, and I should hasten to add, the organisers have not provided us with any background notes whatsoever. So it's all coming out of here. The wooden tops, as they should have been known. And I think it was about the 15th or 14th or 13th Mark II Escort where I said, oh yes, that's the yellow and red one, isn't it? Oh, look, it's got an Essex registration number. And you chirped up with something like, yeah, and the driver's overalls are pink. I mean, and working on the premise that if you can't actually inform people accurately about what they're looking at, making them laugh works.
I'm sure we were much more professional than that and came out with way more random things.
Yeah, I don't know what you were on that day. Now, so here you are back, third time as a competitor, fourth time as a competitor, because you came way, way back in
2001.
In an Evo 3?
Evo 4.
4, okay. Then you brought another Evo.
Yes, so an Evo...
And one Group N.
8 in 2008.
And one Group N.
Yes. The following year brought the Subaru, the Group A 555 Subaru, which didn't last too long, unfortunately.
No. And that's the ex-Piero Liatti car?
Yeah, ex-Piero Liatti and Didier Auriol, which is sat at home,
now
safe and sound.
You're lucky, you see, because in the showroom at home, not only have you got the best car in the entire fleet, the MG Maestro, in which your mother used to co-drive in the Maestro Challenge, you've then got this Subaru thing, and then you've now got back the car you're competing here next weekend and this weekend.
Yeah, well, the Subaru, I mean, the Subaru is part of rallying history, really. Is it a 555 Subaru, teammate to Colin McRae's car?
Because you have to reach the point that you don't want to be using it too much because, yes, you've got to use it sometimes because any car that sits and does nothing hates it.
Yeah, I'll still do demonstration events. I wouldn't rule out doing a rally with it, but I've got to look after it now, really.
Yeah.
That's the key thing with it. And the opportunity to buy my old British Championship Mitsubishi came up, so the car that we've got here is my official Mitsubishi UK car from 2006, and I got a chance to buy that last year.
So you won the Evo Challenge, beating Gwyndaf, I seem to remember, among others.
Gwyndaf was in the Evo Challenge, yeah, back then, and so won it in 2005, and then got the official drive in 2006.
In the days when prizes were sort of seriously worth winning. I mean, this was a car built from scratch, brand new by Rally Art, designed not only around you know, the spec that was necessary, but with the co-driver's seat designed around your co-driver so that all of him could fit in it. Craig Thorley. Is he on the grounds somewhere? Oh, hello, Gilmore. Nice. Oh, that's my present from Jamaica. Thank you very much. That's nice.
If he has, he's not made his presence felt yet, but I think it should be imminent. And
because Craig Thorley, your co-driver at the time, in period, as you would say, was quite a large chap.
Well, he claims he's running lighter now. So yeah, like you said, the car was built around us, driver and co-driver. So it still fits us today. It's now 12 years old. It's a little bit older than it was, but
It didn't look 12 years old when I saw it yesterday, I have to say.
it's still got the iconic Mitsubishi livery. You know, the sort of red and silver of the rally art. So yeah, nice car, good memories. I mean, that year in the British Championship, it was quite a strong year with the likes of Gwyndaf, Mark Higgins, Tapio Laukkanen, Alistair McRae, Martin Rowe for a while. So a lot of good names in the championship. And
you won twice.
Yeah. So we won the first round, the Pirelli International Rally, and then won the home rally in Yorkshire, in the country of Yorkshire.
The country of Yorkshire, yes. Yorkshiremen are not English. They are a sort of breed alone. Just have a look at people like Proctor and him. You'll soon get the idea.
And then we won the British Championship element of Wales Rally GB that year as well. So yeah, all in all, a good year. I did end up off the road twice, which didn't do me any favours, but no, good memories.
So this motor car disappeared. You found it in Ireland, but
Yes.
you said you'd sort of been tracking it a bit.
Yeah, well, I'd always sort of followed it, because when Guy Wilkes drove the following year for the team and they built a new car for Guy, my car was sold to Julian Reynolds, who obviously you'll know.
Oh, right, yes,
Julian,
of course.
a well-known national rally driver in the UK, and Julian ran it for a year in the British Championship, and then it went to Ireland, and yeah, I'd always kept an eye on it in Ireland. It's part of my rallying history, and the nice thing about an Evo, as anybody will say, with an Evo around here, you know, the relatively cost-effective motorsport, if that makes sense. There isn't any cost-effective motorsport, but
There is a sort of, unless you actually start throwing it at solid stuff, there is a sort of bulletproofness about them.
it touches wood rapidly, but yeah, you know, the Group N based cars, either the Subarus that we see in front of us or the Mitsubishis, they were strong road cars that were built to go rallying. So you could convert one for rallying and run it relatively cheaply in comparison to certainly some of the more heavily modified stuff we see.
Now, you do a fair amount of travelling. I know that you're doing regular rally podcasts with Jack Bennion from Motorsport News, who was here last year, sadly not with us this year, because he got a bit of a baptism of fire. I think his first impressions of this event were hugely favourable, and he wrote some very, very good pieces about it. I mean, you've travelled a lot, you've seen a lot of international rallies. Where does Rally Barbados sort of slot in?
It's unique. It genuinely is unique. Yeah, like you say, I've been lucky enough to either compete or work in the media around rallying now for 20 plus years, and I've been to many of the World Championship rallies, and this rally creates a unique atmosphere. Knowledgeable fans, huge fan base. It's a very family-friendly rally as well. You know, we see a lot of, obviously, the overseas crews like myself. We bring the families out for the rally, and everybody gets involved, and that's what's great. You come and compete on a rally that's serious in terms of its competitiveness, but everybody enjoys competing, and there's a great social side to it as well. And I think, the reflection of the amount of overseas entries that come back year on year really underline just what a special rally there is in Barbados.
And so very different to most of what goes on in the UK, although of course now we're moving down that slightly different road, or the UK is, with the first closed road rally in Clacton, just a month or so ago.
Yeah, so traditionally we haven't been able to close the public roads for rallying, so our rallying generally tends to be in the forests, and forests tend to be nowhere near the towns. So
therefore nowhere near people.
Yes, exactly. So, rallying traditionally has been difficult to get sponsors actively involved in being part of the rally, because the rallies weren't where the people are. So, and the other thing is we've sort of lost our world champions, as it were. We haven't got the McRaes or the Burns around promoting the sport for obviously well-known reasons, and rallying has suffered a little bit in the UK.
We haven't got Chris Meek promoting the sport either.
Yeah, I was going to try and avoid mentioning that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Our old friend Chris, unfortunately, no longer with Citroën as well. And again, you're quite right. It's a big blow to rallying in the UK if we don't have. All right, we have Elvin Evans, who's obviously doing a great job, but as we all know, Chris could win any round of the World Championship, and it would be difficult to predict maybe which one and when he would win. But he was capable of winning, and he's won 5 World Championship rallies. He won Rally Finland, probably the Monaco Grand Prix, if you like, of WRC. So it's a real shame that we've lost him.
The sort of slightly telling thing that after that accident, I'd seen a particular image of what was left of the Citroen that I wanted to show Tricia, and I couldn't remember where I'd seen it, and I googled Chris Meek Portugal Rally Portugal accident, and it came up with 2018, 2017, or 2015, and I thought, no, this isn't going well, is it really?
No, I mean,
can you try too hard?
Yes, I guess. I mean, I think it's well known that the Citroen hasn't been the best car.
But then he's the only person who won anything in it.
He is, and if it works, it seems to work quite well. But Chris only knows one speed. You know, he's not Colin McRae's protege for nothing. He embodies so much of the spirit of Colin McRae, and the only way Chris Meek knows how to drive is flat out. And Chris doesn't do driving at 7/10, and unfortunately that Citroen at times has demanded that's the only way to drive it, and that isn't Chris. And
you should have a little warning screen on the dashboard. This is a 7/10 moment.
Yeah, but you know, I think what you also see is if Chris backs off a little bit, then he's fifth or sixth, whereas Chris at full speed is a winner. And we love his flamboyant nature, we love his commitment, and you know, it'll be difficult now for him to get another drive, and if we don't see him regularly in WRC, he'll be sadly missed, because a lot of us in the UK follow WRC for Chris Meek.
Do you think he knows Malcolm's number?
Well, he used to work there.
Yeah, so, that's rather. I thought, you know, they might have different switchboard by now. You never know.
I'm sure he does, but the nature of WRC now is, unless you've got some funding, I think you know, M Sport don't find themselves in a well-funded position, and unfortunately, unless Chris was in the position where he could find a sponsor, which is very difficult from the UK, as we just talked about.
And certainly midway through the season, because it would help to be out there again. Wouldn't it?
It would, but if he gets out, then he's in the position that he was in 2 or 3 years ago, where he's